Hey guys, just finished watching Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, Episode 20, The One Who Will Save Us All. This episode just came out today on the May 4th. It's quite interesting because this was originally the release date for Avengers Infinity War, which I already saw, obviously, since it came out. It came out on the 27th, started on the 26th. I saw it 3 times already. And it is... I just can't wait to see this. So let's just jump into this. We'll jump right into the to the list of things. I got so many different things. So it starts off. We get Talbot picking up right off from where we left off in last week's episode. You get Talbot taking Coulson to the alien ship, using his new powers and stuff. Matt finds another alien alive in the lighthouse. They decide to interrogate him and go and cut him open and stuff. But that doesn't really go anywhere with that storyline. Nothing ever comes out of that. Even though he does take the same stuff that Caecilius took in the future and stuff. Talbot crushes one of the aliens with his powers, using his powers and stuff. The rest of the aliens kneel before him. Coulson ends up going to find Hale and helping her out. Daisy and Daisy shows up back at the lighthouse, and Yo-Yo finds a skeleton in her bag, and it's revealed to be her mother, type thing. Wow, that is really cool. And then May breaks up a fight between Daisy and Yo-Yo, since they're both kind of Yo-Yo believes she's kind of invincible because of time and all, whereas Daisy wants to save Coulson, whereas Yo-Yo doesn't want to save Coulson. Talbot becomes Gravitron, even gets the whole setup, calls himself the world's mightiest hero, Earth's mightiest hero. The skeleton is revealed to be Daisy's mom. Deke tells Daisy that Deke is about to tell Daisy that he's kind of in love with her, and then he switches it to the reveal that he is Fitzsimmons' grandson, and she just kind of, wow. So that's going to be cool to see different people's opinion on that, how it comes out. But I guess you've got more other stuff. It's like, she's able to take it in a little bit. Oh, you're their grandson? Wow, what? And then she has more other things to deal with. So it would have been cool to see this reveal a long time ago. Maybe, when he first found out earlier on, to give them time to play with it. But we'll have to wait and see where things go with this. And if he makes it throughout the season, into the next season, then this could be pretty cool going in here, which I don't think we still have no renewal yet for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So that'll be cool to see that. If we get a renewal. Which I'm pretty sure with Coulson, going into, obviously we know Coulson's going to be, Clark Rigg's going to be in Captain Marvel, even if that's, entirely a flashback, and, there's no modern scene. Whether the fallout of this episode, this season, doesn't matter. It's just the fact that they're gonna want to use S.H.I.E.L.D, have S.H.I.E.L.D. on throughout TV, and having it go S.H.I.E.L.D. on TV. Even if you're not following it, people still get to see some of the ads online. People still see some of the ads who still have TV playing on, advertising S.H.I.E.L.D, which will then advertise the movie. So it's a win-win. Keeping Coulson in people's minds, type thing. So that's gonna be cool to see where things go with this. Talbot ends up killing one of the Confederate aliens, taking no place, and then one of the Kree starts talking about Thanos. Although he doesn't mention anything about about Thanos and his army coming to Earth, which is pretty interesting to see that. And I think it's going to be quite cool to see where things have been going with all this. The Kree start talking about Thanos. Thanos is on his way. So again, I definitely think that hopefully the fallout for Avengers Infinity War, try not to spoil in this video, will be maybe next week's episode. I can see them pushing it off to the end of at the end of the last episode. It would be cool to see the end of the fallout of Infinity War happening in next week's episode 21, so that we have all the 22 to have to deal with a little bit of the rest, and then dealing with it. It's like Avengers Infinity War happens, and then they still haven't even finished their own storyline with these Kree aliens and all this different stuff. I think that's really going to be a cool idea to see where things are going to go with all this. And after, if you've seen Avengers Infinity War, the ending of that. If that happens in this show and also affects the show, and then the rest have to deal with whatever the pieces of S.H.I.E.L.D. have to deal with whatever, and then only gets worse going into there. So I think it's really going to be cool to see where things go. So Talbot makes Coulson kneel, ends up making Coulson kneel to him. His powers are really going to go crazy to him. He's kind of getting crazy with powers. Daisy and May end up joining on board to the ship, the alien ship that Talbot's taken over. Talbot ends up killing Hale by crushing her. Daisy's powers have nothing to... Daisy blasts Talbot pretty much full power, and it really doesn't do anything to him. It just moves his hair and his cape. It kind of... He kind of does... I don't really need to look at it again, but he kind of does kind of slide in his feet. She's even able to move him. Not so much. And then Talbot just kind of knocks her out, and later on we get the reveal that he gives Daisy to the Kree, which is Caecilius' father or grandfather type thing. So that's really going to be cool to play with all that. So all in all, I can't really like this episode, and I can't wait to see where things are going to go in the next episode. It's really going to be fun to see. Like I said, getting more Avengers Infinity War connection. What's interesting with this is that last episode we got the whole thing is, did you see what's going on in New York? And that's a reference obviously to Avengers Infinity War, but kind of the early beginnings of it. There's some early stuff that happens, the real early stuff. I would say even like the first 5 minutes really of Avengers Infinity War is that. After that, within 10 minutes, the 10-minute mark, they're already pretty much gone. So it is interesting to deal with that. And if we go by timeline, how much time is going in between each show, I feel like at this point it should be close to whatever is going on, the ending stuff, or the stuff that's in the trailer for the Wakanda stuff. So it's going to be cool to see where things go and when the actual ending of Infinity War takes place within the S.H.I.E.L.D. show. How long does that take place? I would love to see it happen. I feel like it should happen in next episode, but I feel like that type of ending would probably be saved for episode 22. But it would be fun to see it happen in episode 21 when people would least expect it, and then it would also have one episode to deal a little bit with the fallout going into setting up for season 6. So I think it could be really cool. And at this point, I feel like I'm pretty confident there is going to be a season 6 because of Clark Gregg being in the Captain Marvel movie. We know that that's 100% confirmed. So that's really going to be fun to see where things go with all this. So all in all, it's really going to be cool to see this. I really love this episode. Now, I'm going to get into some Avengers Infinity War spoilers, so I'm pretty much done reviewing this episode. I have some theories and stuff, so if you haven't seen Avengers Infinity War, I'm going to be talking about some stuff about it. Nothing too super duper spoilery, I guess, but if you haven't seen it, you might want to go away. If you've seen it, you'll be fine, but otherwise, if you haven't seen it, you might want to leave at this point in the video. So, you've been warned. Spoilers. Now, in Avengers Infinity War, Doctor Strange does watch the thing about 4,006,905 times he watches Infinity War. And he's using the time stone. Using the time stone, he ends up figuring out how to look at all the possibilities, all the outcomes, and then at the end, he ends up giving Thanos the actual stone, and telling Tony as he fades away that this is the only way to doing this. Now, if we go back to the future, back to the future in S.H.I.E.L.D., when Yo-Yo met her future self, and she said, "You have to let Coulson die. It's the only way." I think that's really going to be the interesting thing. Maybe that's connected to the whole storyline of Avengers Infinity War. Where he said, Doctor Strange said, "It's the only way." Now, I just find that it's the only way is to let them is to give Thanos. Doctor Strange knew that the only way to do it was just give Thanos the time stone. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of fits on there. It does seem like an obvious coincidence to see how things go with that time-wise, but at the same time, with how secretive they were with this script for Avengers Infinity War, I don't see them really, telling that much detail that Doctor Strange, gives him the stone to the S.H.I.E.L.D. writers. Now, I could see them, the ending of Avengers Infinity War, the whole snap and half of the place is gone. I could see that being the point where the writer, they maybe said, they told the writers, because they didn't even give, and most of the actors had fake scripts with different scenes and just their dialogue, but didn't know who they were fighting. Tom Holland never knew who he was fighting, never knew it was the Iron Spider costume until he saw what it was there. It was all the CGI suit. He only ever wore his Spider-Man Homecoming suit. The rest was CGI. So the whole idea and the ending of this, I don't see them, they didn't see them giving that much detail to the S.H.I.E.L.D. guys, but them telling them that, half the universe is, how would it affect your show? Half the universe dies. And that's all I need to know. Yes, it's the obvious ending, but it's not the which Avengers die, which this and that. That would really be too much of a spoiler if it all got out, which these guys are already locked in, they're already in contract, already, whatever, not to spoil the TV show. So I think it would make sense to give them a out of context ending to Avengers Infinity War to allow them to know how it's going to work and affect their show. So all in all, fingers are crossed. I can't cross it here. That Avengers Infinity War does have the snap. And what also would be cool is that there's a way they could put it in the show. Maybe just CGI the sound of the snap, just hear that, and that's where if they can get the audio file from the movie of the snap, and that would be really cool to doing that. And that's where we get that. We can get that in the movie, in the show, and have it there. So hopefully it would be cool to see half of the people kind of disappear in next episode, at the end of next episode. So we go into 22 with half of the people left and then deal with that. I think that could be quite fun. But I could see them pushing that off and wanting to have saving that for the end of 22. When they finish everything, they save their own story, and now it looks like, and then there's, and they go into, we end the season with people, half of them just fading away to everything. Could be quite cool. So it's really going to be cool to see where things go with all this, and how things are going to be setting up. I think it's going to be quite fun to see. It looks like now that they're dealing with the whole, that imminent threat is Thanos. So I think it's really cool dealing with that. Because for so long it seemed like it was going to be its own storyline, but we'll have to wait and see where things are going to go from here. So let me know what you think, guys, about this in the comments below. What do you think about Season 5, Episode 20, The Ones Who Will Save Us, The One Who Will Save Us All, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?